Hi, all, welcome back. Boredom, COVID or no COVID, is a human predicament, a human lot, which we have to put up with. Especially during pandemic times, it is enhanced or heightened boredom to some people, not many people. In one of my earlier videos on mental health, I had suggested one of the remedies for overcoming monotony, overcoming boredom, which was, petting a pet or spending time with a pet, engaging yourself with a pet. Satyajit Ray wrote a short story titled Ashamanja Babu's Dog. Now, the protagonist buys a pup, a mongrel pup from the Hashimara market in Calcutta. For a long time, he has been cherishing a desire to buy a pet dog to whom he could talk English. He could give commands in English like, come here, sit down, stand up, and bring this, and eat, and all those things, so that he could speak to his pet dog in English. So, to fulfill this long cherished dream, he managed to buy a dog from the Hashimara market in Calcutta, where a Tibetan guy or Bhutanese guy sold it to him while touting it to be a happy dog, a nice dog, a dog nice, and whatnot. So he bought this dog and brought it home. And one of the days, the dog was taking rest on the bed as usual, and the protagonist happened to sit on a rickety old wooden chair, and then he fell off. The dog burst out into guffaws of laughter. This was the first occasion which astonished the protagonist. Second occasion was when a fly or a cockroach came to his bed. He wanted to drive it away by throwing his slipper. And the slipper accidentally fell on the mirror, and the mirror broke. And the dog laughed out into roaring guffaws of laughter. This surprised him, and slowly the story caught up that the protagonist, forget his name, he has got a laughing dog with him. And then one or two more occasions happened wherein he was on a walk out in a rainy on a rainy evening, and then somebody's umbrella turned upside down or inside out, and then the dog laughed out, and the public started realizing that the peculiar capability of laughing function is endowed on this dog of the protagonist. And then it became big news, and people from Statesman came and interviewed him. And then, for about a month or two, the dog went silent. I mean, it was not laughing at all. This was a particular capability of the dog. It will be laughing at situations which are amusing, and not for antiques or mimics or tickling it up and all that. The dog would not laugh, and the dog would laugh at really amusing, or ironic situations. So, an American reading this, a wealthy American reading this report in the Statesman from USA took interest in the dog, and he wanted to purchase the dog outright. So, he came down to India, flew into India, and came straight to this protagonist's house. And then the American was trying all his tactics, antiques to make the dog laugh. But then he failed in his actions. So he said, this is a bluff. And he was ready to go off. And as a final gesture, he took out his blue checkbook of the New York Bank from his pocket and wrote out a check for $20,000. It was 2 lakh rupees worth then in 1985. And Ray, the great Ray, wrote this story. So the story goes. So what happened then? An astonishing thing, a very surprising thing, a shocking thing happened. The dog looked at it, and the dog started endlessly laughing with tears coming to its eyes. So everybody was surprised, everybody was taken aback, and they were wondering what is the reason for the dog's laughing. And the protagonist explained it in calm terms to him, to the American, that the dog was amused at the very idea that money could purchase anything. So this gives a story. This story gives conveys a very very profound meaning that animals, pets, they also understand things. And then there is the Rudyard Kipling's description about the cat's independence. The cat is a very independent nature. You can't discipline the cat. The cat is not there in circus, and the cat, if you call in this side, the cat will go the other side. So cat, of course, it's a very lovable pet, but cat has got a different disposition. So Rudyard Kipling describes it very aptly. The cat says, I am the cat and I walk by myself. I have no friends, I have no enemies. So what I mean to say is, if you closely observe the pets like cats, dogs, whatever, birds at close quarters, you tend to learn a lot of things. Like, for example, the best example of relaxation is a cat's waking up from sleep. The proverbial cat nap, people have started calling it as executive nap later on. The executive nap is hardly about 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So the cat goes into a beautiful executive nap, and from which how he or she wakes up is exemplary, like stretching the legs, stretching the hands, and stretching the body altogether, arcing the spine. And there's a beautiful example of relaxation. So if you observe animals very closely, and spend some time with them, giving them food and water, and try talking to them, that is my point, try talking to them, whether they are able to communicate with you or not, whether they are able to talk back with you or not, like the laughing dog of Ashamanja Babu, the great Ray character. It is immaterial whether they can talk back to you, but you can indulge in beautiful conversations with them. You can give them a cuddle, a hug, and spend some time together, trying to relate some stories. And I hear nowadays that artificial intelligence and machine learning is soon going to find out how to communicate with animals. And here there is this story from Mahabharata where Bhimasena's son Katolkacha had the ability to communicate with animals, I believe. I mean, it has been written in Mahabharata. So, in synopsis, what I mean to say is communication with pet animals and whoever they are, like cats, dogs, crows, or other kind of birds, or even snails for that matter. Look at them, observe them, spend some time with them. They are also the inheritors of this earth. Okay, so human beings can increase their happiness quotient by spending some time with the pets. Thank you.